A Rainy Day by Ruth Calderon. One day, Rabbi Hanina Mendoza was walking along when it started to rain. Raindrops fell on his nose, on his cheeks, and on his ears. His hair was wet, and water dripped down his forehead and into his eyes. His collar was drenched, and raindrops rolled down his back. His legs were wet. Rabbi Hanina was soaked to the bone. Rabbi Hanina looked around. The trees were rinsing off their dusty leaves. The soil was soaking up the raindrops. Flowers were holding their heads up high, and frogs were jumping in the puddles. Rabbi Hanina looked to the heavens and said, "Master of the universe, the whole world is happy, and Hanina is suffering. My clothes are soaked, my body is shivering, and my sandals are covered in mud. I'm so cold." Rabbi Hanina. The rain stopped. Rabbi Hanina returned home soaking wet. He took off his muddy sandals and put them next to the oven. He peeled off his wet clothes. Rabbi Hanina put on a dry cloak. A pot of soup was cooking in the kitchen. A fire was burning in the stove, and he was warm and comfortable. The soup was ready, but Rabbi Hanina didn't sit down to eat. He walked over to the window and looked outside. The ground was parched, the trees were thirsty, the river was dry, and the frogs were staring at the sky longingly. How could this be? The rain had stopped and Rabbi Hanina was warm and comfortable, but what about the rest of the world? Rabbi Hanina looked to the heavens and said, "Master of the universe, the whole world is suffering and Hanina is happy." All of a sudden, lightning flashed. Thunder rumbled and rain poured down. Rabbi Hanina smiled to himself. He sat at the table, filled his hungry belly with the tasty soup, and breathed in the sweet smell of the rain. Rabbi Hanina is walking along a road when it begins to rain. "Master of the universe," he says to God, "the entire world is comfortable because they needed rain, but I am getting wet and suffering." Rabbi Hanina gets home and the rain stops. "Master of the universe," he says to God, "the entire world is suffering because the rain has stopped. So how is it right that I am comfortable?" And the rain starts again. From the Babylonian Talmud, Tanit 24b. You like that one? It's good, huh?